Life teaches us lessons every single day, but we miss most of it because we're busy focusing on what we already know. My meeting was scheduled for 10 a.m. and I was well on my way. But because of a situation that came up before, I was running behind schedule and ended up stuck in traffic. I came up to a stoplight that was on red, so I reached for my phone to call my office to let the administrators know that I am on my way to conduct an interview with a potential employee. However, I was running late, so I wanted them to give the gentleman a call and let him know that I will be about 30 minutes late. While on the call, the light changed to green and immediately the person in the car directly behind me started to honk her horn. I put my windows down as I looked in the mirror to see if something was wrong. However, nothing was wrong. As I drove off, the car sped past and the driver of the car, a very well-dressed gentleman, shouted, "Batty bwaay, come off of the road if you new plan fi drive up the car." It bothered me to see how people can be so disrespectful. However, I continued to listen to my audiobook as I drove. Finally arriving at my office, I went straight into the meeting room to prepare for the interview I was about to conduct. About 3 minutes after I got in, the administrator brought me a cup of coffee and told me that my interviewee had just arrived and is ready whenever I am. I asked her to send him in after another 5 minutes as I was just about settling in. After 5 minutes, the gentleman walked in, the same gentleman that told me to get off the road and called me Batty bwaay. When he saw me, I could see on his face the discomfort and disappointment, as he had been calling me for weeks asking for a job. I stood with a smile, introduced myself as I shook his hand and offered him a seat. Before I began the interview, he asked if he could speak. When I told him to go ahead, he started to apologize and went into explaining how much he really needed the job and he was late and he didn't want to be late and all sorts of reasons he thought was valid. I listened intently. Now all that was inside my gut was to tell this man to leave my office and go learn some manners. However, after the interview, I told him that I have forgiven him, and he needed to think about all the people he offended and go seek their forgiveness, and when he's done, he should come back and his paperwork will be ready for him to start working. This gentleman is still currently employed. As a matter of fact, he is one of the best and most respectful driver in the company. What if because of how I felt I had just sent him home? What if I never forgave him? What if I never gave him the chance of learning from his mistake? In Matthew 18:21-22, Peter came up and said to Jesus, "Lord, how often will my brother sin against me, and I forgive him? As many as 7 times?" Jesus said to him, "I do not say to you 7 times, but 70 times 7. Also, Matthew 6:14-15, "For if you forgive others their trespasses, your heavenly Father will also forgive you. But if you do not forgive others their trespasses, neither will your Father forgive your trespasses." Lesson: be respectful to everyone, all the time. You will never know if the person you disrespect today is the person you'll depend on tomorrow. Reminder: when you forgive you heal, and when you let go, you grow. Dwayne Buckley. Life lessons, as the journey continues.